What did Jolly say? Vinny, the man that won't play Undertale but will play Undertale's brain-damaged cousin.
Everyone knows that making video games is hard, especially RPGs with all their dialogue and characters and enemies and bosses and unnecessary sex scenes and shit. So how the hell did I manage to make 2 in 1 year? I honestly don't quite know the answer myself, but I do know the events that led up to all of this. So hopefully that can satisfy the people wanting to know more about it. Hopefully. So without further delay, here's the story of... who the fuck is that guy? It all started in the far-off year of 2022 when one of my friends, Mambo Carmo from BlueSky.com, played Franken, an ORRPGCE game made by Splendidland. She got so inspired by this game that she decided to start her own RPG Maker game, one that would change the landscape of gaming forever. It was no other than Super Assfucker RPG. She only made one screen. Not like this mattered though, our entire friend group was enthralled by this stupid idea and decided to add on to it, which led to the creation of a very stupid but lovable cast of characters, such as Shitstain, the main star of the show. His name was carried over from the name Carmel gave her character in Franken, so it makes sense he became the main protagonist. K-Stain, the rival to Shitstain, the yin and yang of peace and shit, good versus evil. He was created by Golish Maskai and definitely takes cue from the best Mario character. Boshi. Rock Bottom. I made this character, he's my son, don't make fun of him. I honestly don't know what made me come up with this character, but he's stuck around. He also has a fat dumpy. Flea. This one was created by my good buddy, Sprunky out of context, also known as Paige. This character had the most changes only because we kept forgetting how he looked, so every time they looked slightly different when drawn. P.S. This one was made by Kuro.x, and their silly design definitely made them a fan favorite of the main cast. And finally, Gisar and Craze. These two were a part of the main cast at some point, made by Klutz and Skyru respectively. They got cut once we realized RPG Maker has a 4-party member limit, but they later got reworked into secret bosses, so that's cool. From this point onward, we started to work on an actual RPG Maker game. Karma could not figure out how to use RPG Maker, even if her life depended on it, so development got picked up by Paige, who used RPG Maker 2003. Development on the game started promising as we made a development server, created concept art, and came up with a story about getting a bag of chips. But over time, development started to slow down due to a number of factors. The game felt very directionless due to a lack of communication. We didn't really have much plans for how the game was gonna play out, or how much content it would have, so we were just making stuff as we went along. This and a dwindling lack of interest, not to mention I was working on my own RPG Maker at the time, which is a whole another story, led to the game slowly fading away, ceasing development around November of 2022. Shitstain was dead. Afterwards, the game became kinda of an inside joke during this period of time. That failed game we tried to make that basically went nowhere. Shitstain and his friends just became a distant memory that was slowly fading away, but not for long. In the distant horizon, in a blistering sunrise, one man stood up to save Super Assfuck development once and for all, and his name was Riggy! Riggy2K3 was the YouTuber that I started watching around January 2023 that played a bunch of RPG Maker games, and it was a really cool way to find really weird shit. So it's no surprise that when he decided to host an RPG Maker game jam around February that it piqued my interest. I knew I couldn't do this on my own, so I hit up the deserted Super Assfuck development server and asked Carmo if she wanted to try and make Super Assfuck in a week. She said, yeah. So it was settled, Super Assfuck RPG was coming back in jam form! He had to change the story a bit to fit the theme of the game jam. It was still about getting chips, but instead of getting a ladder like the old version, you would instead search for your friends so you could all mount up and reach the chips, which I thought fit the theme of the Dependable Friend well enough. There was also obviously concerns with the name of the game, because Super Assfuck, but ultimately it was fine with the judges. They were chill with it, and also it made the game stick out more against other RPG Maker games, which was a good thing in the long run. The team slowly started to come back together as we now had a more concrete vision of what we wanted to do with the game. We finished up planning up stuff, and we were ready to start development on February 14th. I honestly don't have much to say about the development of the actual game. I was the main person making the game now, doing the writing and the tile sets. Paige did most of the music, while the others helped with battle art, concept art, ideas, etc. There was this one time in BC where I had to draw a shit stain holding a map for one of the puzzles. But then Paige asked me to give him a red pop, and then she asked me to make it red. Then she got your man and you go, no, purple! Then she asked it to be red again. Then she asked me to add a worm, a bug, a spider, a watch, a band-aid, a silly bag. I love this development team. Another funny thing was the game's iconic magic trick scene. At first it was just gonna be a 3-frame animation, but a friend decided to 3D print the cup, record himself doing the magic trick, then rotoscope it, and then just send it to me. It definitely paid off though. After a few days of hard work, the game was finally completed, 2 days before the deadline. I had to compose some of the music myself because there weren't enough music tracks, and some bugs ended up slipping through the cracks, alongside some difficulty spikes that I could have ironed out. But oh well, we made a trailer, the game was out, and overall, people liked it.
Get out. Go away. Get out. Leave.
Only Badass Hero didn't play though. The game really wasn't that amazing, but it made people laugh, and that's what matters the most, I think. The point is, Super Assfucker RPG was finally a reality. We made more updates after the jam ended that added new content and overall made the game a better experience. Except for that one time I accidentally made it so the players started at the last song, which soft-locked them, but it was a happy and fulfilling ending for everyone in the team. So why not do it again? So after the first game was released and after a lot of shit posting, and I mean a lot of shit posting, like a lot, ideas for a potential sequel started to show up. Most of them were jokes, but some of them ended up influencing aspects of the sequel we did end up getting. One of these ideas was Shitstain Goes to Germany, where Shitstain would have gone to Germany to do something, I don't know. The idea that stuck out the most though was making a Christmas special, inspired by Mega Man Sprite Christmas, another game by Splendidland. Funny how that works. A lot of ideas were flying around, like Santa secretly being the Kid Pig's undo guy, and other nonsense like that. Earlier on it was decided that this game would have more of an emphasis on PS as a character, since it didn't get to shine that much in the first game due to time constraints. The team also wanted for Pistain and Jogar to be playable, since they were only bosses in the first game. Our goal was to make a bigger and better Super Assfuck with better combat, better music, better jokes, better everything. It took a bit for the ball to get rolling though. I was still working on my personal RPG Maker project at the time, but my interest was slowly dwindling. I decided that instead of working on a game alone, I wanted to come back to the Assfuck Christmas sequel idea with my friends. I had an unfinished build from April after all, and I thought it was time to finally bring it back. So around June 27, development officially started on Super Jolly RPG.
I'd like to introduce you guys to someone you may already know, one of my closest friends. Take it away, Shitstain.
Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Shitstain!
This time I have more to talk about. Because this game was bigger in scope, it meant that a lot of ideas got left behind or got changed. A lot of scrap dialogue, a lot of map changes, different sprites, and new sprites, the list goes on. I won't list all of them because most of them are not that huge or didn't get very far. But the most notable one was a scrap section that was meant to be a Pokemon parody, where you have gotten a fake Mon party member and had to defeat your rival, properly named Orange. This section had sprites finished and some songs too, but they ended up being unfinished. I realized that making a Pokemon parody inside a game would have taken too much effort, and instead it got replaced with a silly mansion puzzle section in the final game. One of the big additions to this game was Toy Lucio. You know Toy Lucio, right? How could you not? It's Toy Lucio. Everyone knows Toy Lucio, right? For those who are not in the know, Toy Lucio is a poorly drawn animatronic from a FNAF fangame I was trying to make on 2013. He was supposed to be a self-insert. Yes, my real name is Lucio, not Maura, sorry for breaking the illusion. And later on, he became a bit of an inside joke between my friend group, saying he was big character design. He became so popular between like 5 people or so that he got his own section in Super Jolly RPG, where you explore his pizzeria, beat the shit out of your friends, and fight him at the end. He only speaks in Spanish too.
Pendejo no ve que estoy
Ugando.
How funny. Development of the game was going very smoothly, surprisingly enough. Thanks to us having most of the sections planned out, it gave us a good idea of what to work on next. And even if some iteration had to be made, most planned things made it in. Paige couldn't make much of the music around this time, so I had to do most of the OST myself. I think it turned out pretty well. Even if I'm not happy with all of the tracks, this is like the biggest OST I have made so far. It's like 52 minutes of music. We also wanted to end the game on a cool set piece to wrap everything nicely. A final RPG fight was not gonna cut it, so I started planning an escape sequence where the player would have gone backwards through the mall while everything was crumbling down. Just like that one game. A Scorch Run.
Yeah, baby!
This is exactly what I had in mind. But then Paige created this cool ass robot mech fight prototype and we were like, holy shit, we gotta put that in the video game! And shit. And so we did. So around the end of November, Super Jolly RPG was finally completed. 3 weeks before the release date. Those 6 months of hard work definitely paid off once the game finally released to the public. Everyone really enjoyed the game, and what it brought to the table, a better battle system, more comedic moments, a better story that actually focused on the characters, more varied gameplay and set pieces, all of that. And even if you could say that I did most of the work, I couldn't have done this without the help from my friends. This game would have not been the same if I just did it on my own. There's so much different aspects of this game that reflect the people that came up with it, and I think that's really nice. We made the game that we wanted to create, and we were all very proud of it. Oh yeah, I also made a secret route to the game and didn't tell anyone on the team about it, and I hid it away from them for the longest time and had them figure it out for themselves. Isn't that funny? So yeah, I just straight up did that. The route itself isn't that noteworthy. You get some neat lore, some cool secret fights, some epic lair reference, and that's pretty much it. But the fact that most of the team didn't know about it was really goddamn funny to me. There was this very official Super Assfucker account a friend made, and they were so confused that the devs didn't seem to know about the secret route. It was so funny. So yeah, both games were a win in my book. I also commissioned my good friend Snoozingwell to do the cover for the second game, and it turned out really cool. You should follow him on Blue Sky or whatever, and throw him the hammer. So what happened after? A few noteworthy things happened, that's for sure. Number 1, Vinny binds us play our game, which is fucking insane. We were on BC when he announced he was gonna play the game, and we were going fucking insane, except Mass because he was asleep because he's German and all. I also missed the stream because I had to go to sleep, but I watched the VOD and it was pretty amusing to say the least. Vinny playing the game increased the downloads of both games by a lot. The first game has 3k downloads and the second one has 1k, which is awesome. Number 2, Fizz no almost played the game. Thank God that didn't happen. And number 3, we also got in a handful of fan art from both friends and strangers alike, and I think that's very sweet. Thanks to all the people that took time to do fan art for this silly series, I really appreciate it. You might be wondering what our team is cooking up at the moment, now that we made 2 games. Are we making a Tira Super Asphalt game? Are we making a new IP entirely? My answer to those questions is that there is nothing really concrete yet. But if at any time inspiration strikes, we will sure to make the best stupid game possible just for you. If you ever want to make a game, just do it. Whether it's with friends or not, you should have fun making a game. That's the most important thing, especially if you're an indie dev. If you don't have passion, then nothing's gonna come out of it. Don't go into game development thinking that you're gonna make Undertale 3 and will sell gazillion copies or whatever. You should just aspire to make games in general, and maybe one of those games will just become Undertale 3 and you don't know it. Game development, and especially the game industry, is a fucking headache, and sometimes you cannot afford passion or money and it's all a mess. But if you just stick to that passion within you, to tell stories, to make cool ass games, maybe everything will be fine. So go grab a copy of RPG Maker of your choice, call up your friends, and make a super as fuck RPG of your own. I hope to see your work soon.
Okay.